so it's summer 2026, working on some flexibility. I've been struggling with this. So here's what I'm working on, my middle splits. And this is after I've warmed up. You can see maybe I'm a little bit sweaty. So this is as far as I can go on middle splits. So now I'm going to go front splits on my left side forward. And that's about as much as I've got. And then on the right side forward, again, that's as much as I have with good form, keeping the hips aligned and all that. So it's not great. I have been focused on this lately, so I've decided that this is the summer of splits. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way to splits, but man, I'm going to give it my best effort. Here's the program I'm using. I'm doing 30-second rounds on each of these stretches, and I'm doing 3 sets of them. So all this is going to be is just the 1 set, and then you can kind of go back and do it with me if you want to. So I've got a 30-second timer set up here, and this is what I'm going to start with. So I'm going to go ahead and get my timer going, and I've got 10 seconds in between each stretch to get ready for the next stretch. So I start with the basic hamstring stretch. From the side, I'm trying to keep my knees straight, and I'm reaching for the toes. Kind of keeping my chin up here. This first rep, I'm just really kind of getting everything loosened up. I've already done some cardio and some strength training to get the blood flowing. Focus on keeping the knees straight, keeping my chin up, breathing into the stretch. Not pushing too hard, but making sure there's some discomfort. Okay, excellent. So the next stretch is going to be the butterfly stretch. So sit down on the floor, put the bottoms of my feet together, grab the ankles, pushing out with the elbows and driving my head forward. Trying to push a little bit further on my exhales, relaxing the muscles. Thinking happy thoughts. Excellent. Okay, so the next stretch is going to be a seated pancake. So I'm going to put my hands here, spread those legs as far apart as I can, and reach, try to curl those hands out in front. I used to do this with a couch where I could grab hold of the couch and pull myself forward. That was helpful. But this works too. The idea here, I got this from Movement by David or something like that. He's the Stay Flexy guy. And he does 3 sets of 30 seconds. So all I'm going to film here is the first set of 30 seconds. And then I'll kind of skip after that and show you where I've gotten by the end of the third set. All right, so that was the next one. The next stretch is going to be a hamstring stretch. I'm going to be up on one knee, straighten the knee, reaching for the toes. Now 10 seconds doesn't give you a lot of time to switch out for the next stretch, but if you're not trying to talk through stuff, it actually is plenty. I've already seen improvement since I started this 2 days ago, so this is day 3 for me on this program. Okay, so now I'm just going to pop up to the foot. I want to keep my hips forward and drive my knee, really focusing on the front of the hip flexors here. There's my timer, so I'm going to drive into it. I seem to get a better stretch if I keep my toes on the floor here rather than putting the top of the foot down. Whatever works best for you, I guess, is fine. Trying to make sure I'm not letting my hips kick back toward that back leg, sinking the hips down and forward. And now we're going to do exactly the same thing, but we're going to do it on the other side. So we just switch over, straighten that lead leg, reach for the toes. So now we'll go back into the lunge stretch on this side, same thing. We'll make sure we're doing both sides. And this is really going to focus more on the front splits. But if you're having trouble with your hip flexors, especially when you're doing back kicks and things like that, it's really going to help. Side kicks and back kicks. Okay, excellent. This next one is going to be the pigeon stretch. Instead of trying to go 90-90 here, I'm just going to let this front leg tuck under. I'm trying to keep my knee on the ground in the back, lean forward, and just sink that knee as far back as I can. I'm really trying to get my rear end to sink down into the floor. This is going to be stretching the piriformis and the hip abductors, I think is what they're called. Now I'll do it on the other side. Just switch legs here. Probably a little bit lower on my left side with this one. My right side has traditionally been my kicking leg, so these muscles might be stronger, but they're also shorter. So I just have to work them more. See, I'm really trying to close this gap right here. All right, cool. So now we come to the next two stretches. This will bring us to 12 stretches in total. And there are side splits, middle splits. I'll go as far as I can. If you're struggling with pressure on your knees here, put your hands down or grab a hold of a couch or something. I used to have to do that a lot until my knees got stronger. It's probably 2 years ago that I spent a lot of time on this now. And you can tell it's not good. Okay, so I'm going to walk those back in, and now we're going to do the middle of the side splits on each side. Trying to not let my hip rotate out to the side, but try to keep it forward as much as I can. I can go a lot further if I allow that foot to turn over. It kind of cheats the stretch. So this is really good. For me, this is targeting hamstring here. Movement by David has some really good active stretching that you can do as part of this. So I'm going to pull that in, switch to the other side. And for me, instead of pushing the leg forward, it works a little bit better for me to push the back leg back. I don't know why. It may just be the surface that I'm on is a little sticky, so it's hard to get that heel to lift. All right, so there you go. That's the whole thing. And you just start it over. You loop it 3 times. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing that. And I'll come back whenever I've gotten to the end. All right, so I'm now on my final rep with the middle splits. One thing that I've noticed doing this program is that it's really the last 10 seconds of the last rep on each stretch that I really feel progress. I feel like the muscles kind of loosen up and relax. I don't know if I've gotten a huge change there, but it does feel a little better. All right, so now we'll do left side and front. Also pointing the toes tends to help this be a little bit easier because there's less stress on the hamstring. I don't know if that's good or bad. but I've seen it done both ways. That was pretty intense on that left hamstring. See if it's the same intensity on the right. Gotta make sure I'm kind of lined up here because I have a tendency to get off center on this side for some reason. Focus on your breathing. Feels better on this side. I feel like I got further. And that's it. So that's everything for today. Stop my timer here. It's a total of 36 sets because it's 3 sets of 12, so there's 12 stretches. The standing hamstring, the butterfly, the kneeling hamstring, the kneeling lunge, and that's on both sides, so there's 2 of each. And then the pigeon stretch on each side, then middle splits, and then your front splits on either side. So it's 12 stretches, 30 seconds each. Takes 15 minutes-ish to do, but like I said, you're going to want to spend some time warming up beforehand. You know, if you've just finished up a weight session or something like that, that's a great time to do it. I don't like getting up first thing in the morning and stretching. It hurts. It makes me really sore. It makes my joints hurt. Maybe that's just because I'm getting old. I don't know. But what I prefer is to do it later in the day. I tend to feel a lot more progress, and I tend to be able to push myself a little bit further because I'm not as tight from just being in bed all night. I have tried doing it after a run in the morning. I still don't like it. But if it works for you, do it. I think anytime you can do it is better than not doing it at all. So those are just my experiences, and you can do what you want to do. Again, Movement by David is where I got a lot of this stuff, so I will link in the description of this video. I'll link to the 2 videos of his that I really used. He's got a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of other people out there who do some great stuff. Samari Morris is another great one that does some Taekwondo specific stretching. So anyway, hope this helps. Hope you get some flexibility out of it, and we'll catch you in the next one.